Imagine a desert in the dead of June. A thirsty deer spots shimmering heat waves in the distance and runs toward what looks like water. It arrives to find dry sand. It looks ahead, sees the water again, and runs further. This cycle is known as Mrigashira, the deer's thirst, and it continues until the animal dies of exhaustion. In Vedic astrology, this cycle maps to Mrigashira, the fifth lunar mansion. It bridges two distinct psychological territories, the material security of Taurus and the restless, information-hungry intellect of Gemini. This intersection defines the native's path as a relentless, lifelong search. The ruling planet, Mars, provides the energy to hunt, while the presiding deity, Soma, creates an emotional addiction to the pursuit itself. Often, the seeker does not even know what they are looking for. Vincent van Gogh had Rahu in Mrigashira. He spent his life in a state of mental depression and poverty, chasing a recognition that only arrived after he took his own life at 37. The search was fulfilled, but the searcher was gone. The symbol of this nakshatra is a deer's head. It represents the most conscious part of the animal, the part that remains perpetually alert to avoid becoming someone's prey. This raises a difficult question. How does a native survive a cosmic blueprint that wires them to spend their entire life chasing intense illusions? Ancient stories identify this search as Maya, or illusion. In the Ramayana, a demon takes the form of a golden deer to lure Mother Sita. It is a beautiful trap, an object that appears intensely real, but exists only to lead the observer into danger. Because they understand how to construct these illusions, Mrigashira natives often thrive in filmmaking, painting, or virtual reality. However, this same faculty makes them vulnerable to beautiful traps in their personal lives, where they mistake an attractive image for a lasting reality. This is reflected in the myth of the creator, Brahma, who became so obsessed with his own creation, Usha, that he manifested a fifth head just to keep her in his sight. As she changed forms to escape him, he mirrored her, continuing the chase through 100 different shapes. This translates into a specific relationship pattern. The native is attracted to the chase, not the person. They compulsively pursue partners who remain unavailable or who constantly change, finding attraction only in the struggle to catch them. Once the partner is caught and the mystery is gone, the native's interest ends. Tiger Woods has a significant Mrigashira connection in his chart, and his history shows how this obsession with the pursuit can lead to a total dismantling of one's personal life. These unchecked desires ensure that the very thing the native chases eventually becomes the instrument of their own destruction. Despite their restless internal drive, Mrigashira natives tend to play it safe in the physical world. They rarely take risks, preferring to stick to what society considers traditional or secure. This caution changes depending on the planet involved. A native with the sun here may panic at a government notice, while one with the moon in Mrigashira might obsessively check food labels and ingredients before eating, driven by a fear of making the wrong choice. Saturn in Mrigashira creates a specific kind of stagnation. These individuals often stay in miserable careers for years because they fear the next job might be worse. They talk endlessly about new offers but never move, allowing opportunities to pass them by. This indecision directly impacts the milestones in their lives. Because the native is always looking for something better or worrying about the safest path, the traditional rituals associated with the house Mrigashira occupies are frequently disrupted or missed entirely. If Mrigashira is in the 7th house, a dispute over timing or relatives might ruin the wedding ceremony. In the 4th house, an issue with a priest or a family member often creates intense tension during a housewarming. The ritual happens poorly or not at all. Between the paralyzing fear of taking a risk and these disrupted milestones, the native's ego is systematically worn down, forcing a break from their material plans. This wearing down of the ego mirrors the traditional extraction of Soma ras, the nectar of immortality. Just as the search never ends for the native, the pressure remains constant until something precious is released. To produce the nectar, the Soma plant had to be repeatedly crushed, pounded, and destroyed. The plant itself was lost, but the result was a substance so powerful that even the gods craved it. For those with Mrigashira placements, ease is often a sign of an incomplete result. Their most significant talents and breakthroughs typically emerge only after they have endured a period of intense pressure or personal suffering. This creates a strange alignment. The nakshatra is categorized under tamas, the quality of lethargy and darkness, yet its stated goal is moksha, or spiritual liberation. The liberation comes through exhaustion. When the failed chases, addictions, and missed rituals finally become too much to bear, the native is forced into a state of letting go, moving away from material cravings toward a deeper peace. Their path will wax and wane just like the moon. Accepting these cycles of shining and declining is the only way to find stability in a life defined by movement. When the native finally stops chasing the mirage and accepts the crushing of the ego, the search reaches its end in the very liberation they were unconsciously seeking from the start.